Okay, so ask your friend to join fast. We are going to start now. And mark your attendance in the chat box. Okay. Okay, so we are going to start. So I'm sharing the screen with you. So this is visible. Okay, so have a brief idea what we did last time. So we started unit number 4. We have started discussing about the concept of quality, which is nothing but the fit for use. And there are different definition. As far as the quality is concerned, that is the totality of features and characteristics of product or services that bears on its ability to satisfy stated or implied need. So there are different quality characteristics and all that thing. Okay, measurable characteristic, and we can summarize these characteristics in the four group, that is the quality design, then the quality of performance, then for example availability, customer services. So in the today's competitive market, for many for companies to survive, there is no choice but to produce the quality of goods and services. So this is the important aspect. However, increased quality of product and services lead to the increased cost. So this is again the another aspect of the quality. If you want to enhance the quality, naturally the cost is higher. Some companies are adopting the newer quality control and management philosophies to reduce the cost and maintain the quality of product and services. So naturally, there are different philosophies which are proposed by the different, for example, scientists, or you can say the researcher, or even by the companies. And we are following this for the purpose of the enhancement of quality. So, what is the basic objective? The basic objective of quality control is to prevention of defect at every source, relies on the feedback system and the corrective action. So this is the importance of quality basically. So quality control is a procedure or the set of procedure intended to ensure that the manufactured product and or performed services adhere to the defined set of quality criteria. That is the standard basically. And quality defines the standard basically, or set the standard and make the requirement of the client or the customer. So we were at this location over here. So naturally, wherever there is a quality, we have to control that quality, because it is not possible to simply get the quality without controlling it. Okay. So even a sophisticated machine like CNC or NC machine, if you go, even the machine is, for example, not handled by the human being, and it is a highly sophisticated automatic machine and program machine basically. Even that machine produce, for example, say even for that machine, it is difficult to produce the identical product or the parts or this shape you can say. So that's the control of the quality. That is the important aspect in any industry. So quality control is concerned with making the things right rather than discovering or rejecting those made wrong. So what is the purpose? Making the thing right. So making the things right, okay, rather than discovering and rejecting those made wrong. Quality control. So what is the purpose of quality control or means of quality control is to manufacture the product of uniform acceptability of quality. So that means whatever the thing that you are going to fabricate or manufacture, that or even a service there, for example, that should be acceptable. So quality control is a systematic approach to control those variables which affect the excellence of the product. So look at, we are talking about the excellence of the product, and the purpose of quality control is to, obviously it's a systematic approach, scientific approach to control those variables which affect the excellence of the product. The variables resulted from the material. So what are the sources of variables? Material, man, machines, manufacturing methods, manufacturing condition are to be regulated to an acceptable level to ensure the quality of product and services. So both the things, so same thing is applicable to services also. So look at the quality is inversely proportional to the variability. So if you want to minimize the variation, you have to enhance the quality. Otherwise, what will happen? You will have the more variability and less quality. So quality, the term quality is inversely proportional to availability. The quality improvement is reduction of the variability in the process of the product. So this is the aspect of the quality. Objective, so what is the objective quality control? So naturally, we want to, for example, say enhance the quality and we want to minimize the variability. So look at the basic objectives for the quality control, basically verifying the conformity to standard. So we have to, that is whatever the standard which is set, you should ensure that what the product which is manufactured, that is according to standard, that particular set standard. So ensuring that the product meet the predetermined specification and standard, evaluation of standards, quality of material, semi-finished goods and finished goods as per the set standard. So you have set some standard, and what are the goods or for example things that you are receiving, that should be according to that requirement or that particular specification. Identifying and addressing the deviation, locating the root cause of quality issues and taking corrective action. So another aspect of the quality is to take the corrective action. First identify and then take the corrective action. So judging the conformity of processes and taking corrective action. Then suggesting improvement, identifying the opportunities for improvement and implementing corrective and preventive action and evaluation of a optimum quality under the given condition. So this is the aspect of this particular quality. So suggesting improvement. So it's a continuous process basically. So it is not that we have set the standard and we are getting the quality every time. So we have to every time, depending upon the environment, depending upon the material, machine, etc., you have to carry out the process of improvement of quality, that is in a continuous way. So it's a continuous process. Then improve productivity by process control and experimentation. So naturally, if there is a enhancement of quality, naturally that leads to increasing the productivity of the process. And naturally for that purpose, we have to carry out the experimentation. Promoting quality consciousness, so that is the important aspect. If some company is, for example, promoting the consciousness about the quality among the worker, among the people who is working, for example, in that particular organization, so that is quality is the motto, by using say different means to promote the quality, etc. Encouraging quality consciousness within and outside the organization, developing the methods for good vendor and vendee relationship. So naturally, not in only the inside the organization, outside the organization also you have to promote the quality consciousness, so that the material that we are receiving from the vendor and that is of the requisite quality that satisfy the specification, and obviously that results into a good relationship between the vendor and the vendee basically. So evaluating and improving quality QC method, quality control method. So naturally you have to employ different quality control method and using the data analysis to evaluate the effectiveness of the quality methods and identify opportunities for the improvement. So naturally we are going to employ some methods, but you have to check out the effectiveness of that quality control method, whether the quality control method is giving us the requisite quality or not, and if not, so what are the causes, root causes, and what should be the that is the corrective action which is required. Minimizing the source wastage, using the source effectively and reducing the waste. Deployment of trained and qualified manpower with quality consciousness and make use of the automated processes. So naturally, use of these automated processes, qualified manpower, that minimizes the wastage. So minimizing the wastage, that is the objective of the quality control. Complying with the regulations, ensuring that the product requirement, the product meet regulatory requirements. So this may be sometimes the government regulations. So you have to ensure that what are the things that we are fabricating or manufacturing or producing, even as a tangible product or the non-tangible product, that should comply with the regulations in the country in which you are fabricating or manufacturing or producing that services or the goods, etc. So there is always certain amount of variability in every product. So I told you, even if you go for the sophisticated machine, so CNC machine like, so naturally no two products are identical. For example, the thickness of the blade on the jet turbine engine impeller is not identical even on the same impeller. Blade thickness will also differ between the impeller. So simply if you have the blade thickness, if you want to measure the blade thickness, or even you can have the, for example, bar which is come out of a sophisticated machine, and we want to measure the thickness of that bar or the diameter of the bar, you will find that at the different location the diameter of the bar that varies. Or if you are fabricating the multiple bar and if you are measuring, for example, the diameter, you will find always there is a variation during the process. So this, if this variation in the blade thickness is small, then it may not have it then it may have no impact on the customer. However, if the variation is large, then customer may perceive the unit to be undesirable and unacceptable. So you have to ensure about this particular thing, whether whatever thing that you are fabricating, and if there is a variation, suppose that variation is acceptable to the customer, it's okay. If not, then the part will be rejected. So you have to use, for example, appropriate method to accept or reject that particular part. So for that purpose, you have seen that snap gauges or the that, for example, plug gauges, for the purpose of say simply confirming that whether the product which is manufactured that is fall within the limit or not. Since variability can only be described in the statistical terms, statistical methods play a central role in quality improvement effort. So naturally, because it's a large data which is available, and to process that data, to, for example, say, find out what is going wrong or right, etc., and to check whether the method that we are employing that is giving the good result or not. So for that purpose, the variability particularly can be described in a statistical term. Statistical method plan central level quality improvement effort. In the application of statistical method to quality engineering, it is fairly typical to classify the data on quality characteristics as the attribute of the variable. So there are two types of data which is used in the quality for controlling the quality. The attribute means that is based on whether we are going to accept it or reject it based on the certain criteria. So go, no go gauges which are specifically useful in such a cases. So it talks about the acceptance and rejection, and variables where we are measuring the data. For example, the length or diameter, etc. So variables data are usually continuous measurements such as length, voltage, viscosity. Attribute data, on the other hand, are usually discrete data, often taking in the form of say count. Okay, that means suppose we have produced a lot of say 100, and out of that the 4 parts are defective. So you can say that the 96 are, for example, acceptable, 4 are defective and not acceptable. So in that particular, in general, we are so based on that we are deciding the policy, or we are taking the decision whether to accept that thing or not. Okay. So such a number of loan applications that could not be properly processed because of missing required information. So this is one of the example. So you want to process some loan application, and but the specific information which is not available. Suppose name is not available, or the figure, that particular figure of loan that is not available. And there are certain, for example, count out of 10, so 2 in which 4 for example, loan application does not have the requisite information. So you are not going to process it. You are going to process the 6. The other number of emergency, other example, the number of emergency room arrival that have to wait more than 30 minutes to receive the medical attention. So another example, okay, some people have to wait. So quality characteristics are often evaluated relative to specification. The value of a measurement that corresponds to the desired value for that quality characteristic is called as a normal of the target value for the characteristics. So naturally, suppose the diameter is, for example, 30. So that is, so we are measuring the characteristics that is variable basically. So 30, that is our target value basically, but getting that target value that is not possible. So you have to define the range that we have seen in the tolerances. So so if you are measuring and you are getting the target, what are the value, and that falls between, for example, say range. Okay, naturally you are going to accept it. So these target values are usually bounded by the range of values. The largest allowable value for a quality characteristic is called as the upper specification, that is USL, upper specification limit, and the smallest allowable value for the quality characteristic is called as a lower specification. So naturally, upper you can just consider upper limit and the lower limit, and if the value that falls between this limit, you are going to accept that particular product. Or you can say that the process that is in the control, because process is producing within the limit. Some quality characteristics have the specification limit on only one side of the target. वो हमने शायद पहले भी देखा था, zero या higher होगा. For example, the compressive strength of the component is used in automobile bumper likely to have a target value and a lower specification limit, but not an upper specification limit. So you have a target value or a lower specification limit. अपर वाला उससे ऊपर चला जाएगा तो फेल हो जाएगा, तो इसलिए ऊपर नहीं होता. तो आपके पास एक इसमें टारगेट वैल्यू होगा, लोअर लिमिट होगा कि the product is there on a small scale basis. So to test it, you have to, for example, carry out the multiple tests. So for that purpose, you have to, for example, use the statistical data, or you have to go for the statistical design. Basically, that is called as a design of experiment to design to get the optimal value. In this approach, the specifications are often set without regard to the inherent variability that exists in the material process or other part of the system, which result in the component or the product that are non-conforming. So what designer is going to do, because in that particular case, whatever the specifications are often set without regard to the inherent variability that exists in the material process and other part of the system. So we are not going to take into consideration this particular aspect. And the part which are produced, these are non-conforming, and non-conforming products are those that fail to meet one or more of their specification. तो कहीं diameter ठीक होगा तो surface finish ठीक नहीं होगा, surface finish ठीक है तो diameter ठीक नहीं होगा, ये length अगर diameter ठीक है तो length उसकी variable होगी, like that. If you just consider the shaft, a specific type of failure is called as a non-conformity. So we want to have the product that satisfies on the all for these variables. The non-conforming product is not necessarily unfit for use. For example, the detergent may have, now look at this particular thing, example. A detergent may have the concentration of the active ingredient that is below the lower specification limit. अब कोई detergent आपके पास है, उसका जो concentration जो भी हो, कोई caustic soda है मान लो, और कुछ चीजें उसमें हैं, तो that is below the limit. अब उसमें क्या होगा, घर में तो अगर एक चम्मच डालना है, 2 चम्मच डाल देंगे, 3 डाल देंगे, तो आपका काम तो बन ही जाएगा उस पर्टिकुलर केस में. So the ingredient that is below the lower specification limit, but it may still perform acceptably if the customer uses a greater amount of product. तो एक के 2 चम्मच डाल दो, 3 डाल दो, तो फिर ठीक हो जाएगा, ठीक है. A non-conforming product is considered defective if it has one or more defects which are non-conformities that are serious enough to significantly affect the safe and effective use of the product. ये हो सकता है कई बार आपने कोई चीज लाते हो, फॉर एग्जाम्पल मार्केट से, जो कोई चीज उसमें ठीक से काम करते नहीं है, दैट मींस इट इज अ डिफेक्टिव वन. हो सकता है बाकी चीजें ठीक हो, कोई स्पेसिफिक चीज उसकी खराब हो, ये भी हो सकता है. जैसे मान लो शर्ट खरीदने गए हो तो बटन गायब है उसका, या स्लीव मान लो छोटी मोटी है, ये भी हो सकता है, कॉलर उसका थोड़ा सा ये है, बट बाकी सब ठीक है, लाइक दैट. So that is not conforming to the standard specification. Obviously, failure on the part of the company to improve its manufacturing process can also cause non-conformities and the defect. So this is for example, the aspect of this quality basically. So you have to ensure that whenever you want to fabricate something or provide services also, so that should be defect free. Areas of application of quality control, the quality control कहाँ हम लोग use करते हैं, the broad areas of application of quality control are so incoming material control, process control, product control. The problem of incoming material control may be defined as the procuring and stocking material at the economic level best suited for producing the established quality standard. जिसमें कि inventory control एक aspect होता है. In regard to the incoming material problem, a few basic facts have to be kept in mind. First, this is a problem of dealing with the outside supplier who are generally very large in number. तो वो हमारे कंट्रोल में नहीं होते. But you have to. That's why you have to create a quality consciousness among the all your vendors. Secondly, it may not always possible for all the items required to select a vendor at will, and the approach involves much more than mere prompt payment and usual business courses, for example. So ऐसा नहीं कि at will or instances पे आप उसको select कर रहे हो. The basic quality control approach to qualify problems is that quality is built into the product while manufacturing is continuing. This principle should also be recognized in incoming material control procedures and its influence on the vendor-vendor relationship with respect to the quality and selection of vendor. तो नेचुरली ये कंटिन्यूस प्रोसेस है. बेसिकली ऐसा नहीं कि एक बार खरीद ले उसके बाद खरीदना नहीं उससे, तो वो तो अगर खराब देगा तो खरीदोगे नहीं. But if you want to enhance the relationship and you want to have this continuous supply of material, naturally you have to ensure about this particular thing. It's a continuous process. The procedure should aim at establishing a good relationship between the vendor and vendee by suitable quality evaluation of material based on the facts and through good communication, assisting the supplier in improving the quality if necessary. So even you can counsel your supplier or take the supplier in a confidence. So this is the requirement, and you meet the specification and the other things. So that will result into a good relationship. That will say how the more order, and you will benefited because of this more order, etc., etc. The material specification should be prepared before placing the order. Obviously, the supplier can not be held responsible for the quality of material supplied if the requirements are not clear. ये भी जरूरी है उसमें कि requirement अगर clear नहीं तो जो supply करेगा, he should not blame for that particular thing. It would be highly desirable if one could do without incoming inspection of the material. Incoming materials control procedure ultimately should aim at this objective, and at least in many situations reduce the inspection to a minimum, providing a definite quality assurance. ये इनकमिंग इंस्पेक्शन अगर आप सप्लायर से आपके रिलेशनशिप ठीक है और आपको उसको क्वालिटी कॉन्शियसनेस के बारे में बताते हो, तो नेचुरली it result into this particular thing, that is naturally the inspection is required, but the extent of the inspection that is reduced in this particular case. Income materials may be defined to include the material part, assemblies, etc. Moving from one department to another department. अब ये कुछ भी हो सकता है, बाहर से आने वाला मटेरियल भी हो सकता है, एक डिपार्टमेंट से दूसरे डिपार्टमेंट में जाने वाला मटेरियल भी हो सकता है, and shipping of the finished product produced to the consumer ये भी हो सकता है. The material may be held in a solid, liquid, gaseous form. Example would be steel, rod, flat, casting, machine part, wire, sheet, powder, acid, oil, cotton, or electronic equipment, lamp, glass, bottle, packing material, etc. So material कुछ भी हो सकता है. The need for the proper incoming material control from quality point of view is fairly obvious. The poor quality of materials accepted will not only affect the quality but also production through increased rejections and downtime of the machine. So naturally, अगर material अच्छा नहीं है, तो सारी चीजें आपके खराब हो जाएगी. So ideal time on the part of the naturally machine is ideal, the main are ideal, and longer processing time. क्योंकि मटेरियल बाद में नया आएगा, फिर उसमें टाइम लग जाएगा, and you are not able to meet the due date. Our successful incoming material control program is characterized by the good vendor-vendor relationship. This may be achieved by documented quality specification, quality evaluation, communication, mutual discussion and assistance, and vendor rating. तो इसके लिए कई सारे प्रोग्राम होते हैं वेंडर रेटिंग वाले, जैसे एम्प्लॉय रेटिंग होता है, जैसे वेंडर रेटिंग भी होता है. आजकल आप नहीं उसमें नहीं करते, ओला उबर में आप उसको रेटिंग देते हो कि भाई ठीक से उसने गाड़ी चलाई, या जो ये भी आता है आपका पिज्जा वाला भी आता है, वो होता है कि रेटिंग फिक्स है लाइक दैट. Some of the popular techniques are vendor selection procedure, sampling plan for quality evaluation and vendor rating plans. So these are the different things over here. प्रोसेस कंट्रोल, अब ये हो गया आपका इनकम मटेरियल का. उसके बाद जो प्रोसेस आप उसको एम्प्लॉय कर रहे हैं प्रोड्यूस करने के लिए, उसको कंट्रोल करना है. तो प्रोसेस कंट्रोल रेफर टू द प्रोसीजर अडॉप्टेड टू इवैल्यूएट maintain, improve quality standard in the several stages of manufacturing. तो आपने देखा, आप मैकेनिकल में पढ़ रहे हो, आपको अगर मान लो कोई चीज बनानी है, फिर कास्टिंग करनी है, तो उसके लिए पहले पैटर्न चाहिए, पैटर्न बनाना होगा आपको. तो यू शुड एंश्योर अबाउट दी, फॉर एग्जांपल द डिफरेंट एस्पेक्ट ऑफ द पैटर्न, जो पैटर्न अलाउंसेस वगैरह कुछ होते हैं उसमें. उसके बाद आपको सैंड चाहिए मोल्ड क्रिएट करने के लिए, मतलब अदर इक्विपमेंट्स, ऑल इक्विपमेंट, देन यू विल क्रिएट अ मोल्ड कैविटी, then you require a furnace, then you require, for example, the melting of that material and pouring of material. So this is an entire process. At every stage you have to focus on the quality. At every stage you have to ensure about the things are according to the quality requirement or according to specification. Any deviation from this activity at any point leads to, for example, say defective product. So you can just consider this is the entire process, and control of this process, that is the important aspect. The process control refer to procedure adopted to evaluate, maintain and improve quality standards in several stages of manufacture. It takes into consideration the economic aspect of the situation, that is a quality by cost ratio. क्योंकि quality by cost ratio जो होता है, that is called as a value. तो आप जो ये चीज करते हो ना, जब बनाते हो, तो यू आर एडिंग फॉर एग्जांपल द वैल्यू टू, फॉर एग्जांपल दैट पर्टिकुलर प्रोडक्ट. तो इसका एक कंसेप्शन है, देयर इज अनदर एस्पेक्ट ऑफ दिस वन, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज अ वैल्यू इंजीनियरिंग. तो वो आपका वो इंडस्ट्रियल इंजीनियरिंग में एक टॉपिक होता है, चैप्टर होता है, वो आपका इसका पार्ट नहीं है, तो उसमें डिस्कस करेंगे बाद में जाकर ये होगा. तो so the control exercise at several stages in the manufacture of the product helps in building the desired quality in the finished product. The process control procedures and techniques may be looked upon as ensuring quality economically. तो जैसे आपको कोई प्रोडक्शन करना है, तो नेचुरली यू हैव टू फोकस ऑन, फॉर एग्जांपल, एट द सेवरल स्टेजेस, क्योंकि दैट रिजल्ट इनटू द गुड क्वालिटी प्रोडक्ट एट द, फॉर एग्जांपल, से मिनिमम कॉस्ट यू कैन सेल. To facilitate process control to ensure the requisite quality standards, statistical quality control techniques are commonly employed. To naturally, for that purpose, there is a process called as a statistical quality control. तो ये जो आपका यूनिट है, it talks about the quality and the statistical quality control techniques. तो ये इस तरह से आपका ये मतलब प्रोसेस, प्रोडक्शन प्रोसेस, इनपुट एंड आउटपुट. तो ये आपके मान लो इनपुट है, फॉर एग्जांपल रॉ मटेरियल हो सकता है, कंपोनेंट, सब असेंबलीज, इंफॉर्मेशन एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा. ये आपके, अब इसमें भी दो तरह के वेरिएबल्स इसमें होते हैं. एक कुछ वेरिएबल्स होते हैं, हमने देखा शुरू में भी देखा, some of the variables are controllable, some of the variables are uncontrollable. Or two variables, even some variables, these are even, it is very difficult to identify the variable. So it is very difficult to control that variable. कुछ तो controllable आपको पता होते हैं, ठीक है ना. So you have the multiple variables, x1, x2, x3, maybe something like say material, about say diameter of the material, some component, other information, for example. Uncontrollable variable वो आपको नहीं पता, suddenly there is, for example, say because of some the unknown variable, there is a disturbance in the your system. So these are uncontrollable. It is not possible to control that variables. और उसका आउटपुट क्या मिलेगा आपको? You will get, for example, y as a output, and that is nothing but the quality characteristic for us. तो ये आपको इसमें मिलेगा, for example, आउटपुट होगा मेजरमेंट, इवैल्यूएशन, मॉनिटरिंग एंड कंट्रोल. तो इसको आप मेजर करोगे, उसके बाद आप इसको जो मेजर कंट्रोलेबल वेरिएबल है उसको फीडबैक दोगे कि वेदर इट इज डेविएटिंग फ्रॉम दिस रिक्विजिट आउटपुट और नॉट. अगर वो मान लो डेविएट नहीं कर रहा है, यू विल कंटिन्यू विद द सेम सेटिंग. अगर वो डेविएट कर रहा है, तो यू विल टेक द करेक्टिव एक्शन. सो दिस इज फॉर एग्जांपल अ सिस्टम अप्रोच टू दिस पर्टिकुलर क्वालिटी कंट्रोल. A process as a system with a set of input and output is given in the figure above. वो in the figure आपको दिखा दिया. In the case of manufacturing process, the controllable input factors x1, x2, xp are process variables such as temperature, pressure, and the feed rate. The input Z1, Z2, Zq are the uncontrollable or difficult to control inputs such as environmental factor or the properties of raw material provided by an external supplier. The production process transforms the input raw material component parts and sub-assemblies into the finished product that has several quality characteristics. तो क्वालिटी कैरेक्टरिस्टिक आपकी कंपाउंड में कई सारी हो सकती है, ठीक है ना, कुछ मेजर होगी, कुछ माइनर होगी, वी आर गोइंग टू फोकस ऑन द मेजर क्वालिटी कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स और उसको हम कंट्रोल करेंगे. जो माइनर है जिसमें मतलब दैट डज नॉट लीड टू फॉर एग्जांपल द रिजेक्शन, उसमें फिर हम ज्यादा फोकस नहीं करेंगे. तो उसमें जैसे मान लो आपके पास कोई आपने डायमीटर मेजर किया, ठीक है ना, तो यू हैव टू फाइंड आउट द जैसे आपने मल्टीपल जैसे 100 मान लो कंपोनेंट आपने मेजर कर ले तो आप यू हैव डेटा, तो उसकी एक एवरेज वैल्यू आप निकाल लोगे. उसके बाद आप लोअर कंट्रोल लिमिट और अपर कंट्रोल लिमिट आप डिसाइड कर दोगे उसमें. जैसे मान लो डायमीटर आपने मेजर किया है, एवरेज वैल्यू आ रही है जिस प्रोडक्शन की मान लो 30 पॉइंट समथिंग 5 आ रही है मान लो. अपर लिमिट आपके पास है फॉर एग्जांपल से 30 पॉइंट से आपने 95 लगा दिया यहाँ, और लोअर लिमिट आपने कर दिया 30 पॉइंट फॉर एग्जांपल से दिस इज से 35 जस्ट, ठीक है ना. तो अगर मान लो कोई जैसे ये पॉइंट है फॉर एग्जांपल, इसकी वैल्यू 30.40 है, इसकी वैल्यू फॉर एग्जांपल 45 है, ठीक है, और इसकी वैल्यू फॉर एग्जांपल से समथिंग से 30.60 है, इसके 30 पॉइंट फॉर एग्जांपल से 70 है फॉर एग्जांपल, बट इसका जो आपने अपर लिमिट और लोअर लिमिट आपने डिसाइड किया है, so these all values fall between that particular upper and lower limit. So you can say that what are the product which is produced that is according to that satisfy the specification, and that is the process is within the control limit and we are producing the quality product. But इसमें से मान लो कि प्रोडक्ट इसके ऊपर चला जाता है like this one, ऐसा पॉइंट मिल रहा है आपको यहाँ, या नीचे पे प्रोडक्ट चला जाता है फॉर एग्जांपल ऐसा पॉइंट मिल रहा है, एक या दो जैसे भी है. तो you can say that the correct action is required because the machine is not producing what are the components which are produced by the machine, say lot of 100, that is not out of that some of the components fall outside the limit and the correct action is required. तो उस केस में क्या होगा, या तो ये साइज जो प्रोड्यूस हो रहा है उसको आप निकाल लोगे उसमें से, और यू कैन फाइंड आउट द कॉस्ट रिलेटेड टू फॉर एग्जांपल द मशीन और द ऑपरेटर और द मटेरियल एक्सेट्रा, and you will take the care of that particular cost. तो वो अगर रिमूव कर दोगे आप तो उसमें you will again produce the dimensions of the product within the specification limit. तो ये इसमें that is called as this comes under the statistical method that is called as a control chart method to control the quality. अब देखते हैं the output variable wise quality characteristic, that is a measure of process and the product quality. This model can also be used to represent the non-manufacturing or the service processor. तो ये आप at every level you can use it, whether it's the service sector or manufacturing one. The control chart is one of the primary technique of say statistical process that is called as SPC. A typical control chart is shown in the figure जो मैंने आपको दिखा दिया, ठीक है ना. This control plot or average of measurement of a quality characteristic in a sample taken from the process versus time or the sample number. The chart has a central line CL, जैसे मैंने आपको दिखा है, इसमें एक सेंट्रल लाइन एवरेज वैल्यू होती है सेंट्रल लाइन, और अपर लिमिट और लोअर लिमिट होती है. अपर स्पेसिफिकेशन लिमिट, लोअर स्पेसिफिकेशन लिमिट, या उसको कंट्रोल लिमिट भी बोलते हैं, अपर कंट्रोल लिमिट, लोअर कंट्रोल लिमिट, इस तरह से भी उसको बोलते हैं. तो the central line represents where the process characteristic should fall if there is no unusual source of variability present. तो नेचुरली वो पॉसिबल नहीं होता क्योंकि सेंट्रल लाइन है, पर वो अगर वेरिएशन आपको विद इन लिमिट है, यू कैन कंसीडर इट इज एक्सेप्टेबल क्वालिटी और द प्रोसेस इज प्रोड्यूसिंग फॉर एग्जांपल द क्वालिटी प्रोडक्ट. ठीक है, तो ये हो गया इसका बेसिक इंफॉर्मेशन. द एप्लीकेशन ऑफ प्रोसेस कंट्रोल में भी appreciated by analyzing the problem in some details. Naturally, this should start with the objective of process control, which may be stated as under. The knowledge that the process is in the state of control, this is essential to see that the item produced conform to the requirement as the manufacturing is continuing. This means that the process should be controlled at the right level and variability so that the stipulated prescriptions are met. So look at, so we are controlling the process. Here the chart indicate that the process is within the control limit basically, and everything goes according to the plan. Whenever deviation occurs from the standard established, it must be found as quickly as possible so that the correct action should be initiated. The ultimate objective is not merely to detect the trouble but also find it. This means building up an efficient information system. तो ये आपको आजकल हम इसमें यूज करते हैं मैनेजमेंट इंफॉर्मेशन सिस्टम, ठीक है ना। तो वो इस तरह का सिस्टम आपका मतलब डेटा जनरेट होता रहेगा उसका। तो दैट आल्सो लीड टू फॉर एग्जांपल नाउ इट इज वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट एआई। तो एआई में भी हम लोग ये चीज डेटा को यूज कर सकते हैं पर्टिकुलरली, एंड दिस विल गिव यू द रियल टाइम फॉर एग्जांपल द solution also, and information about the variation. The efficient system of process control would be one where the time lag between the detection of the trouble and taking the action is less. तो ठीक है ना, जैसे मान लो एआई सिस्टम आपका है तो फटाक से बता देगा आपको कि यहाँ कोई वेरिएशन आ रहा है, there is need to correct it. Either the AI system will tell you about the corrective action या आप मैन्युअली उसको फाइंड आउट करो और उसको मान लो करेक्ट करो। The various steps involved in the process control are given below. तो सबसे पहले क्या करना होगा प्रोसेस कंट्रोल में आपको, planning, the determination of quality characteristic of control, inspection, equipment and procedure, development of criteria for judging the process of control, making and recording measurement and observation that would answer the question implied on the objective. पहले आपको प्लान करना होगा, you have to decide about the procedure, you have to decide about the for example different control, the criteria, the inspection, the equipment, the judging process, etc. एनालिसिस, तो फिर डेटा जैसे मान लो प्लान करोगे उसके बाद डेटा मान लो जनरेट हो रहा है आपका, मेजर कर रहे हो आप, तो उसके बाद उसका एनालिसिस करना होगा, मेकिंग द यूज ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन कंप्लाइड फॉर इनिशियल स्टडी एंड आल्सो ऑन continuing basis process engineering. The study made to eliminate the causes of poor quality or to initiate corrective action, and as and when required based on analysis. This would involve association of process behavior pattern obtained from the measurement to the technical and operating condition of the process. तो एक पैटर्न आपका बन जाएगा इसमें, तो आपको पता लग जाएगा कि किस तरह से प्रोसेस आपका बिहेव कर रहा है। Then process capability determination of this the best the process can do under the given condition. So under the given condition how the process will perform, so that will nothing but the process capability. तो ये आपको करना होगा इस particular case में। The approach to solution of quality problems involve three aspects. तो इसमें तीन aspect है अगर आपको quality problem का आंसर ढूंढना है। engineering aspect, the creation and development of a product is basically engineering. The development of quality evaluation through improved inspection procedure is also engineering. So these are the engineering aspect basically. Again, the knowledge of the causes and defect and substandard product and their specific rectification is engineering. अभी पहला aspect हो गया आपका engineering वाला, दूसरा हो गया आपका statistical, the concept of behavior of process which has brought in the idea of prevention and control is statistical. Building an information system to satisfy the concept of prevention and control and improve upon the product quality require statistical thinking. ये statistical approach हो गया इसका, मतलब ये दो चीजें आपको करनी है simultaneously. Managerial, the competent use of the engineering and statistical technologies managerial. तब दोनों को combine करके आप जो use करोगे, जो use करेगा उसको, the aspect is managerial basically. The creation of a climate for quality consciousness in the organization depend upon the policies and practice of the management. The effective coordination of the quality control function with those of others in the managerial. ये सारा aspect आपका managerial है. Quality activities are continuous and perpetual process which must go on all the time starting from start to finish. It's a continuous process basically. So three things are there: engineering, statistical and the managerial, to find out the solution. So quality control concept, तो quality control में क्या क्या आपके conception या जो terms आपको use करनी है, the process, तो process एक होता है, process is defined as set of interrelated work activities that are characterized by the set of say specific input and value added tasks that produce a set of specific output. That means the specific input is there, specific output you are getting. So in return you are carrying out some value addition. The process can be contained with a functional organization or it is a span several functional organization. तो ये हो सकता है आपका एक ही हो या मल्टीपल हो, तो ये चीजें हो सकती है सिंगल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन और मल्टीपल ग्रुप ऑफ कंपनी जिसको बोलते हैं ना, लाइक दैट. The charts are pictorial tool for studying the process and situation and for planning improvement. The use of chart would result in the standardization, simplification and variety reduction and optimization of process average. जो मैंने अभी चार्ट दिखा था ना आपको, that is called the control chart basically. इस तरह से चार्ट आपको बनाना होता है. तो चार्ट का पर्पस क्या है? To standardize the process, to simplify the process, to verify, reduce the variety. तो वो वहां से आपको इनपुट मिल जाएगा एंड देन अल्टीमेटली दैट विल रिजल्ट टू द एस्टैब्लिशमेंट ऑफ अ स्टैंडर्ड एंड द ऑप्टिमाइज्ड प्रोसेस कंट्रोल बेसिकली. Quality control, it is defined as the assurance of conformity of the manufactured product or the process to establish the specification by systematic observation. So you have to confirm it. Okay, what are the things that you are producing, or you have to ensure about that particular thing. Whatever product which is produced, that is as per the specification. So assurance of conformity of the manufactured product or the processes to establish the specification by systematic observation, inspection or test, and by evaluation of material, workmanship and other influences. Quality assurance, it is defined as all those plan and systematic action necessary to provide adequate confidence that a system or the component will perform satisfactorily in service. ये हो गया आपका quality assurance, एक हो गया control. Difference between the quality control and the quality assurance. Quality control is related to the actual inspection of the test in order to determine whether a particular component of the process is acceptable or not. Whereas quality assurance encompasses numerous activities such as planning that required action, such as planning the required action, establishing the acceptance criteria, assigning qualified personnel for the processes as well as for the inspection. तो ये quality assurance में ये difference है quality control और assurance में. ये action plan for achieving the quality, ये यहाँ से start होता है. Act ये है ना, सॉरी प्लान से PDCA बोलते हैं इसको, प्लान डू चेक एंड एक्ट. तो प्लान में क्या होगा? क्वेश्चंस एंड थ्योरी फेज, प्लान चेंज और टेस्ट, प्लान डाटा कलेक्शन. दूसरे में कैरी आउट द चेंज और टेस्ट ऑन द स्मॉल स्केल, ऑब्जर्व द डेटा, एनालाइज द डेटा. तीसरे में होगा कंपेयर द डेटा टू द थ्योरी, समराइज व्हाट वाज लर्न, does the theory need revision, change the process. So this is called as a PDCA cycle, that is the plan, do, check and act to ensure the quality or to ensure about the quality product. Factors affecting the quality. तो क्या क्या factors are that affect the quality? Following 9M directly affect the quality of the product and services, and thus this must be thoroughly recognized and dealt with. Material है, manpower है, money, market for the product and services, motivation of employee, model information approaches, management, machine use, mounting product needs. मतलब जो requirement from the mounting product needs का मतलब है कि customer requirement कि क्या क्या है. customer आज बोलेगा ये चीज चाहिए, कल बोलेगा कुछ और चीज चाहिए, like that. The industrial quality data are of two type. अब इसमें जो मैंने पहले बताया था, दो तरह के डेटा आपके पास है. एट्रीब्यूट, ठीक है ना. एट्रीब्यूट में जैसे नंबर ऑफ वेल रिजेक्टेड, नंबर ऑफ डिफेक्टिव होल, नंबर ऑफ डिफेक्ट ऑन इन एन इनगोर्ड और शीट, और नंबर ऑफ डिफेक्ट ऑफ वेरियस टाइप ऑन द कास्टिंग. तो ये दिस लीड्स टू फॉर एग्जांपल एक्सेप्टेंस ऑफ द रिएक्शन. तो इसको बोलते हैं डेटा, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज एट्रीब्यूट. और वेरिएबल में जिसमें हम एक्चुअली मेजर करेंगे, दैट इज लेंथ, वेट, डायमीटर, the percentage, carbon percentage, hardness, thickness, ash content in terms of percentage, pressure in terms of say this Newton per mm square or bar, etc. Then acidity percent, etc. जैसे मान लो वो होता है acidity reducer वगैरह. Variation is inevitable. No two pieces are alike. मैंने जैसे एग्जांपल दिया कि दो चीजें एक जैसे हो नहीं सकती. Even the Even pieces produced by most modern machine can be shown to differ if they inspected by corresponding precision instrument. तो एक ही इंस्ट्रूमेंट से मेजर करोगे, एक ही लॉट में से मेजर करोगे तो आपको वेरिएशन दिखाई देगा उसमें. The variation consists of the two parts: natural or inherent, or due to chance causes in the process, and unnatural and external. तो दो तरह के वेरिएशन आपको हो सकते हैं. The variation consists of the two parts: natural or inherent due to chance causes in the process, and unnatural or external due to the assignable causes that can be traced. Distinction between the chance and assignable causes of variation is made in the below. The variation due to the chance plus assignable causes, variation due to the chance causes only. So look at this is the variation. Yes, the difference is chance and assignable causes consist of many individual causes. Chance may consist of many individual causes, consist of one or just few individual causes. Any one chance cause result in only a minute amount of variation. However, many of the chance causes act simultaneously so that the total amount of chance variation is substantial. तो ये कई बार जैसे डायमीटर है, लेंथ है, जो भी कॉज होगा उसका, फॉर एग्जांपल बिकॉज ऑफ सम रीजन कि मशीन आपके ठीक नहीं है, टूल वेयर हो गया, तो माइनर हो सकता है, ठीक है ना. लेकिन अगर मल्टीपल चीजों में है मान लो तो दैट इज सब्सटेंशियल बेसिकली, क्योंकि वो एड ऑन होते जाएगा उस पर्टिकुलर केस में, ठीक है. और दूसरा है आपका any assignable cause can result in the large amount of variation. Some typical chance causes of variations are the slight, क्या क्या हो सकते हैं, slight variation in the raw material through within the specification, slight vibration of machine, lack of human perfection in reading the instrument and setting the control. और इसमें क्या हो सकता है, some typical assignable causes are below: bag of defective raw material. तो कई बार होता है ना, आपने देखा होगा कि मारुति है, कोई कंपनी है, वो बैच को रिकॉल कर लेती है बिकॉज सम फॉर एग्जांपल से फ्यूल पंप है फॉर एग्जांपल, वो डिफेक्टिव है बिकॉज ऑफ सम रीजन, ठीक है ना. फॉल्टी सेटअप भी फॉल्टी है, आपने सारे बना दिए, 100 के 100 बना दिए. देन अनट्रेन्ड ऑपरेटर. सो दिस इज फॉर एग्जांपल असाइनेबल कॉजेस. एज अ प्रैक्टिकल मैटर, चांस वेरिएशन कैन नॉट इकोनॉमिकली बी एलिमिनेटेड फ्रॉम द प्रोसेस. तो ये डिफिकल्ट होता है. The presence of assignable variation can be detected and action to eliminate these causes is usually justified. तो ये जैसे वाइब्रेशन है मान लो, या ऑपरेटर मान लो कई बार गलत रीड कर देता, तो इसको वो लॉन्ग टर्म में चल जाता है क्योंकि वेरिएशन माइनर होता है. बट अगर इस तरह से मान लो सेटअप भी आपने पहले गलत कर दिया फॉर एग्जांपल, तो कई सारे प्रोडक्ट जो आपके बन रहे हैं दैट विल नॉट फॉल विद इन द लिमिट, तो वो आपको फिर रीड करने होंगे. So variation resulting from the natural causes alone reveals certain pattern of the follow certain statistical laws such as Poisson's normal, etc. A reference may be made to the pattern of variation in thickness of a steel sheet, number of machines under breakdown, etc. From known pattern of population distribution, the pattern of distribution of sample drawn from it can be predicted. तो इसके लिए आपने पढ़ा होगा मैथमेटिक्स में कई सारे डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन हम लोग करते हैं, नॉर्मल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन, बाइनोमियल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन, पॉइसन डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन, चाय स्क्वायर डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन, टी स्क्वायर डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन एंड मल्टीपल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशंस, ठीक है. ये दोबारा हो गया क्या, ये स्लाइड दोबारा आ गया, नहीं मैं चेंज कर दूंगा. So it has the aim of engineers to strive for higher and higher accuracy, but absolute accuracy is unattainable. Every process and its output are subject to variation. No two things can be made exactly alike. In mass production, therefore no pattern are made to attain absolute perfection, but to control the degree of variability so that the part lie within the prescribed tolerances. तो ये मैंने आपको बताया कि वो लिमिट में होना चाहिए. तो इसके लिए क्या है, आपके पास स्टैटिस्टिकल टूल्स है. स्टैटिस्टिक्स एक्ट एज ए प्रैक्टिकल टूल इन दिस डायरेक्शन. स्टैटिस्टिक्स रेफर टू द कलेक्शन, ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, एनालिसिस, इंटरप्रिटेशन एंड प्रेजेंटेशन ऑफ ए डेटा. तो डेटा जो भी होता है, आजकल हम डेटा की बड़ी बात करते हैं, तो दैट डेटा दैट इज नथिंग बट द बेसिस इज स्टैटिस्टिक्स बेसिकली. तो स्टैटिस्टिकल क्वालिटी कंट्रोल इन्वॉल्व एनालिसिस ऑफ कैरेक्टरिस्टिक ऑफ प्रोडक्शन आउटपुट बाय द inference from sampling the output The analysis is in turn is used to make a necessary correction to ensure that no defectives are produced and process remain in control. नो डिफेक्टिव तो नहीं हो सकता लेकिन मिनिमाइज हम लोग कर सकते हैं उसमें ऑब्जेक्टिव होता है बेसिकली कि डिफेक्टिव नहीं होने चाहिए लेकिन इट इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू एंश्योर अबाउट द जीरो डिफेक्ट तो उस केस में फिर आपका जो क्या कहते हैं उसको थ्री सिग्मा लिमिट जो होती है वो फॉलो होनी चाहिए उसमें कि एक 1 मिलियन में एक ही डिफेक्ट है या नो डिफेक्ट है तो वो पॉसिबल नहीं होता. There are two types of causes responsible for the change in the dimension of any component manufactured: inherent or random chances, random source of variation and assignable causes. जो हमने अभी देखा था. In statistical quality control technique, the actual physical measurement are first secured by means of inspection. तो आपको इंस्पेक्शन कर दैट्स व्हाई वी आर हैविंग मेट्रोलॉजी उसके लिए आपको इंस्पेक्शन करना होगा. तो कई बार वी आर मेजरिंग डायरेक्टली विद द हेल्प ऑफ वर्नियर कैलिपर और फॉर एग्जांपल माइक्रोमीटर और डिफरेंट थिंग. Sometimes we are using, for example, simply this acceptance and rejection test by using snap gauges of the plug gauges for the corresponding part. The degree of variation The degree of variation among the measurement is analyzed by the statistical method in terms of standard value of variation among the acceptable part. The quality control is thus directly associated with the inspection and quality controls are and for quality controls are maintained in order that things may be economical and quick. 100% inspection is not desirable. तो इसलिए वो मैंने बोला ना 100% inspection जो वो desirable नहीं है वो possible भी नहीं है. That's why we are going for this kind of situation. Rather, 100% inspection lead to fatigue of the human brain. Faulty parts are likely to be accepted. Control chart tests immediately whether the product is satisfactory or machine should be shut down and cause search for. तो ये इसका aspect है. ठीक है. तो आज के लिए इतना ही. Discard it. आगे कई सारी चीजें हैं उसको करेंगे फिर हम लोग. ठीक है. So this is the basic idea about the quality and the importance of the quality control. तो इसकी जो statistical tools है, particular control chart, वो कल की PPT में कल देखेंगे उसको. अभी तो हमने यहाँ तक हम लोग पहुँच गए. It is degree of variation तक तो हम लोग आ गए. उसके बाद we'll discuss about the control charts. क्योंकि स्टैटिस्टिकल कॉलेज उसके पहले जो बेसिक स्टैटिस्टिक्स है उसके बारे में डिस्कस करेंगे. आई थिंक यू नो अबाउट ऑल दिस बेसिक थिंग दैट इज द मीन, मोड, मीडियन, द स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन, variance, and then the data representation by using the different statistical tool like say Pareto diagram, scatter diagram, histogram, and for example different this graph and all that thing. ये सबको बेसिक पता होता है बट आई विल जस्ट ब्रश अप यू ऑल दैट थिंग. और उसमें से फिर किस तरह से डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन पर्टिकुलरली वो इम्पोर्टेंट है उसमें. पर्टिकुलरली दैट इज दिस नॉर्मल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन. ठीक है ना, जो हमारे लिए सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट होता है मैकेनिकल इंजीनियरिंग में अपार्ट फ्रॉम द अदर वन आल्सो. तो उसके बारे में डिस्कस करेंगे. वो लिमिट डिस्कस करेंगे 3 सिग्मा की कि कितनी होती है, 3 सिग्मा में कितना एरिया होता है, 2 में कितना होता है, 1 में कितना होता है एंड सो ऑन. तो अभी के लिए इतना ही. कल देखेंगे. कल हमारी क्लास कितने बजे है? क्लास कितने बजे है कल? हाँ जी, कोई बताएगा? अरे कल क्लास
सर 2 बजे क्लास है सर कल.
2 बजे है?
1 बजे है.
अच्छा 1 बजे. हाँ हाँ 1 बजे ठीक है. Okay. So I'm marking your attendance. So be here. Course instructor. तो अभी चल रहा है हमारा मंथ ऑफ February. ओके. अच्छा हमारी आज वो वाली क्लास नहीं थी क्या? चलो ठीक है, मैं कर देता हूँ. कितने बजे? 3 बजे. डेट आज की है 3 तारीख. ये हो गया और ये हो गया. हाँ, पूर्वी,
Present, sir.
प्रियांशु,
Present, sir.
आर्यन,
Present, sir.
हर्ष,
Present, sir.
देन उसके बाद सोनाक्षी,
Present, sir.
ध्रुव, ध्रुव, ध्रुव नहीं है, सिंधु, रवि कुशवाहा,
Present, sir.
हर्षवर्धन,
Present, sir.
करण,
Present, sir.
अनिकेत,
Present, sir.
हर्ष पुरवाल,
Present, sir.
अग्रिम अग्रवाल,
Present, sir.
प्रणव सिंह,
Present, sir.
सैयद, दीपक,
Present, sir.
हिमांशु, हिमांशु, सैनी, नॉट देयर, ऋत्विक,
Present, sir.
उसके बाद है साहिल, साहिल, नॉट देयर, अभिनव कुमार,
Present, sir.
समर्थ,
Present, sir.
याशिका,
Present, sir.
खुशी, खुशी,
Present, sir.
उदित, उदित,
Present, sir.
आर्यन सोलंकी,
Present, sir.
अनिश वर्मा,
Present, sir.
माणिक भूषण,
Present, sir.
सत्यम परिदा,
Present, sir.
आयुष यादव,
Present, sir.
अनिर्बन दत्ता,
Present, sir.
आदित्य सेन,
Present, sir.
अद्रिशिखर,
Present, sir.
आस्था, आस्था सिन्हा, नॉट देयर, विशाल,
Present, sir.
आस्था है, आस्था सिन्हा, पता नहीं,
Present, sir.
बोलो ना फिर. विशाल, रोल नंबर 29,
Present, sir.
अंजलि,
Present, sir.
तनिष कुमार,
Present, sir.
सोनिया,
Present, sir.
विशाल 37, रोल नंबर,
Present, sir.
हिमांशु,
Present, sir.
सुमित आनंद,
Present, sir.
वंश माहेश्वरी,
Present, sir.
प्रत्युष पराशर,
Present, sir.
निखिल,
Present, sir.
अनन्य सरकार,
Present, sir.
कुंदन,
Present, sir.
विनय,
Present, sir.
वरुण,
Present, sir.
हर्षवर्धन,
Present, sir.
ऋषु,
Present, sir.
निशार, निशार नहीं है. उसके बाद ऋषभ जैन,
Present, sir.
प्रिंस राणा,
Yes, sir.
गौरव चौहान,
Present, sir.
सुशांत,
Yes, sir.
शिवम,
Present, sir.
अभिनव,
Yes, sir. Present.
शेखर,
Present, sir.
भव्य कुमार,
Present, sir.
यश शर्मा, भक्त नारंग, नौरंग,
Present, sir.
प्रथम मलिक,
Present, sir.
अनिमेश,
Present, sir.
किरीट सागर,
Present, sir.
तुषार सैनी,
Present, sir.
पंकज
Present, sir.
एंड ध्रुव कुमार.
Present, sir.
तो इसमें ये मैं ये
रोल नंबर 1022 सर, माइक नहीं चल रहा था, रिकनेक्ट किया है अभी.
ध्रुव सिंधु,
यस सर.
Sir, 4003 भी.
4003 सैनी, हिमांशु सैनी.
Yes, sir.
और
Sir, 4028, sir.
ये साहिल, साहिल है,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
साहिल है. निशार,
Sir, 4028.
एक मिनट, साहिल है.
Yes, sir. Sahil present.
और ये इसका और कौन था? निशार, निशार है. नहीं है इसमें, ठीक है, बाकी तो सारे प्रेजेंट है और ऑलमोस्ट।
सर 4028।
4028
ये सर सर उसका माइक।
प्रेजेंट है, प्रेजेंट। चलिए ठीक है, ओके, सी यू टुमारो 1 o'clock।